Hey y'all, welcome to Life of Logos podcast. My name's Colin,
I'm Ken.
and we back again. Shoot,
Again, see, what a smooth transition.
that was an accident, but I'm rolling with it, man. Okay, so we had an announcement. I got an announcement,
Okay.
and we want to talk about it because we were having a conversation as we do. You know, me and Ken, we actually tight, so like it's
A little bit.
yeah,
A little bit. It's like we brothers or something.
like twins, man.
Low key.
On the real,
Eternal.
I have. This is something I'm actually coming to you with this for the first time. I haven't
Okay.
talked to my friends about it yet. I tried to talk to a friend about it. She was like flat about it. She didn't.
Mm.
I recently have been awarded the opportunity to join a franchise with this company called Dimensional Search. Thank you.
That's dope. That's dope. We're gonna edit that in. Edit some claps.
Claps. And this is what it is, right? So I'm transitioning out of the military, as you know. And as I'm coming out of the military, you have to look for options for jobs. I am being recruited by this company called Amgen, which seems like an awesome company.
Dope.
Someone called me last week to go do a Scrum Master position with this company called TA.
Okay.
Right? And then doing this job with Dimensional Search. I really want to do the job with Dimensional Search.
Okay. What about it makes you drawn to it? And what makes it an attractive offer?
A couple things. One, it is a franchise.
Yeah.
So instead of having to report to a boss, you have to report against life.
Oh.
And that
Some people can't handle that. Some people don't want to life. That's rough.
That's true. But that's also real, you know? And that's what kind of gets me about the corporate world is that when you're like, hey, I got to go check with my boss to go vacation.
Right.
I have to go check with my boss to see if I'm doing well. I have to go check with my boss. Like, I'm tired. And truthfully, I've been tired of this for a little bit, of having the daddy me in my life.
Yeah.
I'm not about that life.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I own my home.
Yeah.
I want to own my business.
Come
I
on.
want to own my life. If that means I have to go own something, you have coaches and stuff to take you through it, teach you what to do.
Right.
But I would rather do that than have to report to somebody else who truthfully doesn't, no disrespect to anybody, but most managers really don't care.
Most of them don't care. Most of them don't have the training or the expertise or the know-how. A lot of it is, some people say nepotism. I don't agree that all corporate stuff is nepotism, but in one way or another, a lot of job positions that are just out there, they're already been filled. Like they're checking a box to put the thing out there so that people can say that, oh, it was fairly out there. But they already got a guy or a girl or whoever for that position.
That's true.
Right? Especially at the C-suite level.
Absolutely.
So like those people, a lot of times they get friended in versus they performed in.
True.
So you got these non-performers, and you being a high performer, you're like, damn, I'm doing all the things. I checked the boxes.
Right.
I've done the extracurriculars. I got the degrees. I got the certificates, the know-how. Why am I not being for that level of work or profession?
Right.
And it's okay. So now you're answering to a person who, again, doesn't necessarily, and some people do, but doesn't necessarily, just because you're in that position, mean you have all the qualifications to be there.
That is true.
And even then, doesn't mean that just because you have the qualifications to be there, doesn't mean that you execute those qualities. I know a bunch of people who are PM, program managers.
Mm-hmm.
They have PMPs, project manager, professional certificates, right? Which should mean you're great, you're elite, you can do all these agile things, and you can work anywhere in the world. In the world? In the world. You got a PMP, you can go anywhere in the world.
In the world.
In the world. With a PMP?
Indeed.
Anywhere in the world. Mm. However, just because you got the certificate that says you can be anywhere in the world doesn't mean that you're a good PM.
That is true.
Just because you did a test that said that functionally you know what you should do. You should know what happens in XYZ scenario. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that when XYZ comes up, you can be a bad people person, but you can be great at finance.
True.
And you can sit there and something happens. A scenario happens that you would have had to click A, B, C, or D on. You could have gotten C, and that could have been the right answer. But in your real functional life, you would have been like, up. I'm going to go to the bathroom because this is awkward.
True. That happens all the time.
I saw that work on Wednesday.
No shade to whoever that was.
Brian.
Oh. But that happens. Truthfully, in the corporate world, two things happen pretty regularly. One, we tend to promote the performers, not the leaders.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're hypothetically amongst engineers, you're a really great engineer.
I'm about to say engineers.
Y'all are a special breed.
No, you ain't got to call them special.
They are special. I think engineers are just
special.
I wouldn't even say they're special in a bad way. I think they're just artists with science.
Yeah.
I think engineers, and that comes with a certain category of people because the average person's not going to bring those two things together.
Not going to understand.
Right. Yeah, like I'm an artist with paint,
Yeah.
but they're an artist with a different thing, which to their own merits is different.
I'm an artist of tomfoolery. That's what I'm good at.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody got the strengths. Mine's just
Hey,
more. I don't know about it as useful as engineering, but I mean,
it's different.
yeah, it's useless.
They're a special group of people. With that, we tend to promote the person who's really good at being an engineer, but the person who's engineer is not always the best leader.
Right.
Right. But when you were talking about leadership, you are now, that's like saying, hey, you were a great fish, but we need you to climb a tree. Guess what you're going to go do? You're going to go climb a tree, and it might not be as well as you'd like for it to be.
Well, if you're an engineer, you're going to ask, is the tree wet first?
Hey, what type of tree? What is the tree made out of?
Coral reef tree or like a regular? No.
It's a different type of tree.
Different type of tree.
So that's part of it. And the other part of this, and I was actually studying for my PMP too, because I am that guy. And they were talking about how most managers in America only get about 9 hours of management training for their entire career.
Really?
9 hours, that's one workday training.
9 hours. Not even for some, but like, wow.
Yeah, on average. Now, in order to be a program manager, get your PMP, that's roughly 160 hours.
Yeah, something like that. Between the formative like boot camp you got to do, or like the 2-week long course, however you chop it up. I got to actually study for the test. A lot of times there's some type of requirement to pass a certain amount of practice tests to actually get a certificate that says that you completed whatever course to even take the test and apply. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's all management.
Yeah,
but I don't have to deal with that. So I'm gonna have my own franchise.
Yeah,
but here's the thing about the franchise. This is where I'm at. I'm getting the award because they essentially had enough conversation with them. They're like, "We're gonna take you."
Yeah,
great. That means you got to go get a small business loan in order to get started. Because I'm not walking around just like fat stacks of cash. Or my money's in the retirement account, which I don't really want to touch. If I liquidate it,
who wants to retire?
Shoot, hey. If I liquidate it, then I'm going to burn all of that stuff because you had to pay all the taxes. Right. You wouldn't have enough money to do it. So you get an SBA loan. Guess what? It's going to cost this much money. I happen to have the money.
Yeah.
Great.
Glory be.
Glory be. So you got picked. They saw you as a good fit. It's something you would like to do. It would give you time to do what you want to do. You have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Everything is clear. The entire runaway is clear. And I still think it's going to fail.
Okay, so real quick, be a PM. Let's define failure. Okay, do we mean fail in the sense of it's not profitable, it doesn't work out, or fail in the sense that you didn't get what you needed out of it? Which might have been learning something for the next step, for the next business.
Not even that. Because I'm actually so confident in the guys and the training and all of that it's going to work. I think when I say it's going to fail, I feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Like there's another unseen criteria, like requirement in there.
Right.
That they're like, oh, it's too easy. Like, why is this so easy? Why doesn't everybody do it if that's the case?
Right.
What's the next step? What's the phantom step that's in there?
What's the thing that I'm missing?
Yeah.
So as I'm going forward with this, I'm afraid that somewhere between this week is the award, next week, the week after that, we should be signing the paperwork. And then after that, July 1st, we're starting. Yeah. Everything's there. Everyone's on the same accord. We're all in lockstep. Yeah. And I keep thinking somewhere something's going to happen in the bottom of the fall. And that is not what I'm realizing is I'm going to scoot to this thing and come right back.
All right.
Imagine you are in like a very large field, right? Okay. And you can move about the field as much as you want to, but as soon as you want to get outside that field, you have to come across a barrier.
Yeah.
The term barrier is something I learned from this men's team, which is a different episode. We should talk about. A lot of body pain. Anyway, when you run across these barriers, as soon as you're trying to step outside of where you have been, right?
Go.
And where I'm at is I'm realizing that for the first time in my life, first time in my parents' lives, my grandparents' lives, I'm stepping into a position where it's actually on you.
Yeah.
You own the business.
Yeah.
You own the responsibility. And you have all the potential to make it whatever you want. And somewhere there's this barrier, which I really do believe is a limiting belief that I don't deserve it. That's what it is.
Well.
And that someplace, just because this has been my life, this is where it's been, this has been generational. Yeah. As soon as I try to do better, something's going to cut me off.
Let me flip it on you, buddy. Do you deserve it?
I think so.
Do you deserve it?
There's not a better fit.
But again, I'm using that word facetiously. Does anybody deserve anything? At the end of the day, I think. So I feel like on one side, let's take salvation.
Okay.
Like logos. Do we deserve
No.
salvation?
No.
Because we were dirty little sinners, right? So we don't deserve it, but we got it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes like you be put in places that you should be in because that's the will of God. Sometimes you be put in places that you need to be so other people can see you either succeed or fail. Right? So you look back at the Book of Kings that has all the kings in it, and you see all these different leaders come up, all these different kings, and some of them are great and some of them are not so great. Why do you show the not so great ones too? Mm-hmm. And it's because whether the king was great or not good, they all push the people closer to God.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So did that person might have been appointed, but whether or not that person was anointed was up to God.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can be appointed without being anointed. We would prefer you be appointed and anointed.
Fair.
I'm sure you will be. Right? And like my Uncle Michael say, somebody got to do it, might as well be me. Right? And he used to say that about good stuff, bad stuff, whatever. Somebody got to take out the trash. Somebody got to do it, might as well be me.
Fair.
Somebody going to win the lottery. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'll play them odds. Oh, I don't know, man. Somebody got to win. Might as well be me.
Might as well be.
Somebody's going to have a franchise and got some good sense.
Yeah.
And knows how people work, knows how a business operates, has good heart, soul, mind, good ambition to be able to put something like that and drive it forward, driven programs and other things forward much bigger before.
Yeah.
Big dollar figures, big programs, things that a lot of the people in the world would know and a lot of things that the world shouldn't know.
Fair.
You know? So if you can do those things and come through all the other adversities you've done or come over and had all the schooling that you've had, gone to the academy, Air Force jail. There's Leavenworth and then there's the academy. And someone was like, man, you got to do 4 years. I was like, dang, where I'm going? They were like, you can pick either the academy or Leavenworth. I'd be like, I'll make them big rocks and the little rocks, please. I'm like, y'all was tripping.
It's a great place to be from, not a great place to be at.
Yeah. But if you can get through all that, man, again, deserve, I think it can be a funky term, especially like going back to our conversation that we just had about those CEOs and C-suite people, leaders being in those appointed positions. Do they deserve it? Some of them, yeah. All of them, not necessarily. They just knew somebody. So if they got there, not necessarily deserved it, then why do you have to deserve to be there?
It's a good point.
No.
I think in that regard, I don't know that deserve is the right word.
Yeah.
What it feels like is this is a gift that's too good that if someone would say, hey, here's this gift, it's perfect, it's laid out for you, it's made perfectly for you, I think someone's going to steal it away. Mm-hmm. That's the belief that if someone gave me something really good that I really wanted, that was perfect for me, somehow it's going to go wrong.
Gotta tell you something.
What's that?
As a biologist, that's reptile brain, bro.
Reptile brain?
You ever watch Savage Kingdom?
No. Savage about Savage Kingdom.
Oh. Okay, so I think it's like the best big cat documentary out there right now. So it's on Disney Plus. Really? Sponsor us right here. Sponsor. So it's told from the perspective of this part of the lions, specifically the male lion. Okay. I think his name's, it's not Shere Khan, but it's something like that. It's like Sakakama or something like that. I don't know. Sakakama, Shaka Khan, something like that. We're going to call him Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan.
That works.
Is this big, same hair. Really,
Shaka Khan.
You know, so Shaka Khan is leading this part of lions, and it's told from this perspective that he is like truly indeed royalty, and he is constantly patrolling his borders and making sure like nomadic lions don't come in and take over his territory, and you know his sons don't get freaky. They're not making any hub videos. Any hub videos of ancestral bumping and grinding. So then you got to run him off. Kills one of his sons. Spoiler alert. It's crap. Kills one of his sons for humping.
What's that, brother?
Dead on the neck. I think he was clapping his mom. Anyway.
Continue.
Could be me though. But could not be me. But so in that, he's constantly fighting. He's constantly like patrolling borders, monitoring and checking and aggressively ready to defend. And then when all is calm, he still has to hunt. He hunts, he brings down buffalo with his family or whatever, and he's always head on the swivel because who knows if another pride of lions is trying to come get that same buffalo, if a big old pack of hyenas, which again can get real ugly real fast when it's 30v4 or whatever other big predator out there. He's always looking for that. So I think in a similar setting, like in a similar mindset, I think that's your inner like primal instinct. I've done a thing. I caught the buffalo. Buffalo is mine. Bam, it's down. I didn't bit the net. I want to eat and enjoy it, but in that still, who's coming to take it? You know, is this meat bad? Is it spoiled? Is there why did the buffalo just lay down? Okay,
that's what it feels
why
like.
Did I not have to hunt it like that? Is it sick? Is it gonna give me worms or something? Am I gonna have blind worms and die?
Yeah,
you know. So it's always that like kind of background fear. I think sometimes not. I don't think aggression is the right word, but I think the more ambitious in a way you are on one end, on the other end, the more cautious and like ready for whatever you are on the other side too. Because with ambition comes someone trying to take the territory. It comes somebody trying to take what you have for no reason.
That's true.
So,
man,
they kind of work hand in hand.
I heard this quote this week by the Hermosis. There's a guy named Alex Hermosi and his wife, I think it's Layla. And they have this quote that is, your brain is wired for survival, not success.
Yes.
And that's a game changer when you actually think about it. Yeah. And that might be exactly what it is that I'm trying to, my lizard brain saying, hey, there's something coming. As soon as you move forward, there's something. But the alternative is you stay in your little box.
But that's why they reinforce through movies and television and media that you need to stay in the box. Yeah. They make it scary to move out of the box. And then there's like one like uplifting story of like, look at who broke out of the box. But even in that, in the build up in that story, they still make it seem hard and not fun and scary and whatever. And they had to overcome all this stuff to get outside of the box. And then to be outside the box wasn't what I thought it was in the first place. And, you know, usually you retreat back to the box. You watch all these shows. Everything points to you being in this box. Think about work, okay?
Or do you say cage? But yes.
If you think about work right now, what color is work?
Gray.
What color is prison?
Also gray.
Coincidence? No. Them walls could have been whatever color you wanted them to be. Them walls could have been red. They could have been Roy G. Biv. No June. But like.
That is June. June 1st, by the way.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Happy June.
Happy June.
10th.
Yeah. Oh, don't edit that part out. That's funny.
It's a coming. It's a coming.
Yeah. You want to say it like that too?
Yeah. 10th.
We're literally talking about getting off of cages and boxes of grass. And this week, Juneteenth, it's a coming. Yeah, we leaving the plantation.
That's really it. Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Is I'm realizing looking at this, like, we're going to take the step no matter what.
Yeah.
All things aside, because if this business works out, then it's just going to propel the rest of these dreams. However, we come here, we talk about this dream and storytelling, and this company is going to be, because the next video is going to be a little bit about that. And if I can't get over this idea that you were given this gift.
Yeah.
You were given this opportunity.
Yeah.
If you don't take it, you're staying in the box, and so is everybody else. You take that step, you have a chance. Which leads me to a story I did not write.
I'm gonna tell you one. I'm gonna leave you one thing before we get off.
No. Don't get off yet. Tell your story, dog. The story we talked about before we started.
It's not my story.
I feel like it is.
It's the story of a little mouse.
It's Mickey Mouse?
Yes, and its creator Walt. Okay, real quick on the same topic, right? So Walt, obviously animated back in the day, made Mickey Mouse 19. You know the date?
18 of November. His birthday's 18 November.
No, when he made Mickey, year 1926. Dog is on everything.
It is 1926.
1926.
I'm thinking lots of numbers right now. It's all November-ish.
That's the alley-oop. All right.
It was 1926.
1926.
November 18th.
I think so,
yeah. I gotta get one of the numbers right. I graduated college in 18, so I always remember the 18, not the 16.
That makes sense. So he creates this little doodle, and then, you know, he's making these little animations or whatever, and basically it's the same thing as if you had taken, you know how you did like the ball back in the day, you get like a little sticky notepad and you go, he made one of those, and people are like, oh, that's kind of dope. That's dope. But it wasn't until he made Snow White, the first full-length animated movie, right? And he was making movies before. Like, he was adding people in it because it was hard to, like, animate frame by frame by frame by frame by frame by frame.
Still
Painstaking. Took so long to do. But he was like, I'm going to be an innovator and not just really lean into this idea that I have and this passion I have. I'm going to do a whole damn movie. And back in the time, that's if we were like, let's do a VR movie, or like, let's do that's the level of innovation. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna make movies. I'm gonna make movies like y'all never seen before. I'm gonna make movies that have never been really conceptualized before, or never been put in action. So if he could step out on faith like that and be like, hey, I can do this, it's doable, it's gonna be expensive, it's gonna take some time, I'm gonna have to have the right team to do it. But if he can do that, then you can clearly do this business. People have done it before, man. And if anybody's done anything before and you want to do it, then I don't really think you got a problem. I think you'd be all right. I think you're among those folks that if they figured it out, then you're surely okay. It's just a matter of time. So don't worry about that. The other stuff is gonna take some doing, but that's doable too.
Man.
So we're gonna get there.
I could not tell you how much I needed to hear from somebody.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I appreciate it, brother.
For sure, man.
It's that there's only two options, right? You're gonna either wish you had.
We're glad you did.
That's it.
Come
With
on.
that, this is Life of Logos. I'm Colin.
I'm Ken.
We're gonna talk more in the next video.
Yeah, keep living that logos.
With it.
Yeah,
Sponsor us.
please.